So before we get into this review proper, I would like to take a moment at the start of this episode in particular to talk about our review process. So if I negatively criticise anything, then I need everyone to know that it is not a personal attack on the creator. My review process has always been to look at the positives and negatives of any product and to always suggest a way anything could be improved. The reason why I'm beginning this review of Sonic Neo this way is because this is Max TV's first Sonic fan game, and I don't want them to feel discouraged. The fact that they've even made something is important because they've given something back to the wider fan game community, and every developer needs to start somewhere. I have a huge respect for them for putting out a complete fan game because it shows dedication and some bravery to put a project out there for people to play and judge. That being said, Sonic Neo is a game with problems that I'd like to address.
First up, what do you think of when you think of the core 2D Sonic mechanics? I have always believed that these should be a focus on tight but fair platforming that is rewarded with moments of visceral speed. Sonic should be moving through a vibrant and colourful world, and each stage should have a little gameplay gimmick that is unique to the area and gives the player something different to engage with that keeps things fresh. Sonic Neo's stage design is often rushed and uninteresting. Stages are far too short for anything to happen in them, and they are more often than not littered with blind jumps that result in instant death if you get them wrong. If you get a chance to go fast, then you're often punished with enemies you can't see, or more pitfalls you can't avoid. The limited 4:3 resolution is where this could have been fixed. A larger resolution could help the player plan for difficult jumps and see what is coming up earlier so that they can react to it. The stages themselves need to be longer and need to show more variety. You don't need to punish the player for every mistake with pitfalls and spike traps. They're absolutely everywhere, and there's so much room for a different route through the stage to make them feel a little bit more dynamic. Visually, I quite like what Sonic Neo is doing with mixing up tile sets to make stages that feel different, and for the most part it's quite successful. However, there's a strange focus on greys and darker colour palettes that makes the game feel a little dull for a Sonic title. I wish there was a little bit more vibrancy in the tile sets to make the stages feel more like a traditional Sonic game. Bold colours always excite and get the imagination going, and sadly Sonic Neo is missing that in its presentation. Interestingly, the game is powered by the Open Sonic engine, which is not a particularly bad engine by any stretch of the imagination, but it hasn't been supported since September 2010, which means it feels a little archaic when compared to something like Sonic Worlds, which still receives regular updates and support. While Open Sonic does feature some decent physics and support for 360-degree movement, Sonic doesn't really react to the environment in the ways you'd expect. He often clips into the scenery and the camera feels like it lags behind him, which often exacerbates the frustrations of colliding with enemies you can't see. Open Sonic also supports team actions by giving you control of Sonic, Tails and Knuckles, and you can change between them with the press of a button. Sonic Neo unfortunately misses an opportunity to design its stages in a way that makes you use all three characters. You could have had a gate that needed to be opened by one character to let another through, or areas that only specific characters can reach or access. It often feels like you just pick a main and leave the rest of your crew behind, and it's a bit of a shame. Sonic Neo has problems that I can't avoid mentioning if I have to discuss the game critically. However, I encourage Max TV to continue to make Sonic fan games and take this criticism in a constructive way. Your next game will be better if you study your Sonic level design a little better and pick out ideas and gimmicks that can work for the stages to make them more interesting to interact with. Regardless of the overall quality of this project, I have to congratulate Max TV for not only making their first Sonic fan game, but for completing it as well. So many Sonic fan games come and go at the beta stages, so it's remarkably impressive that Max TV saw Sonic Neo all the way through to the end of its development, and I hope the experience taught him some things that he can bring into his next game. As always, if you'd like to try Sonic Neo for yourself, then download links are in the description below.